Shane, you know if you watch a clip before you go surfing, it pumps you up.
I told you that as your surf coaching assignment. You just didn't do it. Like, the most important thing is to watch someone before you go surf. That way you can get better. And you were just like, nah, I'm good.
I'll do it.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. We're really excited to be here today. We're going to be talking about our favorite pro surfers to watch.
5 favorite surfers. I'm Stevie. We got Justin and Shane in the building, all the boys. And who wants to kick it off?
All right, I'll kick it off. I'll kick it off with, first and foremost, this might get me kicked off the podcast for good, but I rarely ever, if at all, watch competitive surfing. It's just not my jam. I'm not like into it that much. So like when it comes to pro surfers, not a whole lot of names come to like the top of my head. But the first person,
I'm actually wondering like how much of the regular audience also watches competitive. I feel like it's a minority.
I would say like out of everybody, like there's so many surfers in the world, maybe 1% of them actually watch competitive surfing.
It's got to be more than 1%.
Think about how many people surf. Like I'm talking maybe
Like
you own a surfboard, you go once a month. I bet you a very small percentage of those people are actually like diehard surf fans that watch competitive.
You think so?
It's probably a pretty small amount, yeah.
I mean,
even the guys that go a lot, like I don't watch a bunch of the contests.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to watch the Surf Ranch contest. Like,
See,
not interested in.
My thing with pro surfers and like, let me tell you what I think of pro surfers. But my thing with like competitive surfing, it's so performance driven that I love it when I watch a surfer who just looks at waves differently. Like the first person that comes to mind is Toren Martin. Like I've watched that guy like completely just blow past sections that other people would have turned on or done airs or whatever. And it's because he sees something so far away and he's able to like, it's almost like he's in control. Like he is, I don't know. It's almost like the wave is experiencing him, not the other way around. So I would like kind of lean more into like that direction of surfing. Yeah, it's philosophical.
He's got really good pacing. He was actually on my list, and I just remembered somebody else that barely edged him out. But
really,
I'm a huge fan of Toren Martin. Also, I don't think none of my guys are on the pro tour currently. So
yeah,
we should have CJ put in clips of these guys as we say.
Absolutely,
for sure. Yeah, but I would say without a doubt, he's by far on the tip of my list of like. Coolest.
Well, just because like he does like the camping stuff, right?
Well, yeah. Not even considering that. Just like his style, dude. Like no traction pad.
He's like a cold water surfer, camping, riding a motorcycle.
So badass. Like his newest film, Calypti. Did you watch that?
It's on my list.
It's good. You gotta watch it. It's pretty good. It's not the best of his films.
Shane,
but
you know if you watch a clip before you go surfing, it pumps you up.
So I told both of you. I told you that as your surf coaching assignment. You just didn't do it. Like the most important thing is to watch someone before you go surf. That way you can get better. And you're just like, nah, I'm good.
I'll do it.
I don't need that shit.
I watch a video before like 95% of sessions. And the only time I don't is because I like check the surf and it's firing and I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't know I was gonna go.
Yeah. I like that. I never thought about that. I'm gonna implement that in my routine.
Mason Ho is my go-to guy for those. So
Really?
I watch a Mason Ho clip before every single session. I just love his style, his approach. Is like he just looks like he's having more fun than anybody and doesn't take shit seriously.
I should have added him to my list. I forgot.
Is he on your list?
Oh, he'd be top of my list probably.
For sure. Where are you at?
Well, do we like take turns or we go you're 5 and my 5, you're 5?
Yeah, we can take turns.
Yeah.
All right, so my number 1, no surprise here, Kelly Slater. But look, for many reasons, all right. I mean, how can you not? But he's the most winning surfer. So like obviously you gotta like give props to the guy that wins the most. Mm-hmm. But he's also like old and jacked, and I'm aging and I'm trying to get jacked. So he's like actually I think he's in his 50s now. He might be 51.
Damn.
And he was like even vegan, which I am anti-vegan, a super carnivore meat eater guy. But he went vegan for a while. I just looked it up today, and he was not totally vegan anymore. But dude's jacked and old and still going crazy. So that's good. He also is a businessman, not just a surfer. He's did like his whole wave pool thing. He's got a clothing company. who else knows like what other business things he's done, but it's more than just surf. He did Baywatch. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
So he's got his businesses, and I think he's just a good person all around. Nice guy, hangs out with like everybody, and is just a good guy. So I vote Kelly.
It's a solid choice. I don't know if any of these are like on any given day they might like one might be my favorite. Like, so I don't know if it's really my like top 5 like listing first, second, third, fourth, fifth.
Hey, this is gonna be in video, so you're held to the law at this point.
One of my favorite guys to watch though is, well, I mean, he absolutely shreds, but Dane Reynolds, because I grew up surfing around him, and every time I'd see him out in the water at like Emma Wood or Lock and Cheetah or Rincon or C Street or wherever it was, the guy was just absolutely destroying every wave he came across. And like, just, I've surfed with a lot of pros out, and that guy is just built completely different. Like, he is.
Did you ever talk to him?
Yeah. A couple times.
Do you think he's nice?
Very nice. I'd say he's a little bit shy. Like, you just, he's kind of quiet.
Yeah.
He just kind of keeps to himself, and yeah, he's fairly quiet. I've never seen him like blow up on anybody. One time we were at C Street, and I was on a longboard, like sitting on the shoulder for the next peak, and he just told me he just like waved me into it. And I was like, that's sick. Like, did a huge turn behind me, did a little figure 8, and like, yeah, he's super cool about it.
Nice. Good choice.
And he's a dog. He's a big boy. Like, he's ripping, and he's like ripping these too. Like,
well, I feel like he's changed a lot. I just listened to a podcast with him from I think it was the Boardroom Show or Surf Expo or something. And he's a dad now, and he was talking about how like he like used to be like more aggressive or whatever, and now he's like looks at the Groms in the lineup differently because he's a dad now and all that stuff. So I don't know if he's ripping the beers as much anymore, but maybe that definitely used to be his thing. Like, don't give a fuck and go. He did the nastiest like. I think it was that pipe or backdoor. I remember back when I used to watch the contest, and he did this one like turn thing, but he like grabbed the rail of his board, but he like flipped. I don't know. I think it was like pretty well known. Maybe
probably
CJ
the Haleiva turn.
Maybe that
was the Haleiva like 1 turn 10 or something.
Yeah.
Like, it was.
Yeah, hopefully CJ can pull that clip up because that was sick.
Nice. Yeah. I'll say like probably the next person that comes to my mind is Laird Hamilton. And
whoa, good choice.
Yeah, I've been reading this book. I highly recommend it to anybody out there that's like into reading, I guess.
Did you take my book?
Huh?
I have that book.
The Wave. Have you?
Is it his biography?
No, this is a different one. This is a phenomenal book. The writer, I think her name is Suzanne Casey or something like that. One of the best writers I've ever read in my life. Like, but it was the book that I was telling you about that my uncle gave to me that came from a seal. That was little tangent. We don't need to go down that road. But she lived with Laird Hamilton for like a couple months, and was like learning more about his lifestyle and like what he knows about big waves. And she was studying rogue waves in the ocean and how you can't track these big waves. But then she, like in her study of the waves, was fascinated by this guy's lifestyle, living on top of a cliff, like in these pineapple fields, and he's just like always doing all this rugged shit. And I think he's like has never lost himself in the pursuit of being one of the greatest surfers of all time, and probably the best big wave surfer of all time. Like, he's stayed like true to himself and like his core beliefs, and he's still out there probably as we speak right now, like shoveling dirt on his property or something. Like, I think that is so badass. So I would say he's probably I don't know about number 2. Like, there's not really a hierarchy here. Toren Martin's number 1 for sure, but like when I think of like cool pro surfers and like the lifestyle of surfing, he's probably up there towards the top of the list.
Nice. Back in the day when I was filming, because I used to do all the surf edits around San Diego, so I was filming Swamis on a big day, and this guy came over and talked to me. This old guy. He's like, I used to babysit Laird. Damn. I think we have the raw video where you can hear like everything in the background, because I would do like an edit with the music, and then I'd do the raw. Just unedited, and so you can hear his whole stories about babysitting Laird. Mm-hmm. It's pretty funny, but a good choice. I used to be a big Laird fan. So for my turn now. I kind of also don't pay attention to that many other surfers. Definitely don't pay attention to contests anymore. So top of my mind, I just thought of, do you guys know Mr. Thank You Please?
Oh yeah, he's super funny.
Yeah.
That's basically it. Funny. That's all I got for him. I don't even know if he's that good of a surfer. I think he's
pretty good. He's
but if you're watching anything with him, it's gonna be funny to watch. He's making a fool of himself, or dancing, or whatever he's doing is hilarious, and I like funny people, so that's my number 2.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
What's his name? Let's give him credit besides the Instagram handle.
Insert name here.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably nobody knows his name.
Actually,
He's a German guy, isn't he?
No,
he's from Europe, isn't
his
he?
girlfriend is that everybody says. Is
Oh
his
yeah,
sister.
he was doing.
There's a bit of debate on whether
Okay.
what their relationship
The
is.
incestual duo over here.
No, he's got to be Australian. He was just on the
He's
stab
Australian.
thing.
Oh,
But yeah, he was making those skits about the Germans being mean. The German
Yeah.
girl, nothing's good enough.
Got nothing on them Russians, though, let me tell you. We want to talk race. This is the last episode of the HoStevie podcast, everybody.
While Shane's looking that up,
Oh,
I'm gonna say my
Mackenzie.
third is Sterling Spencer.
Mackenzie Bowden.
Mackenzie, yeah.
Nice.
God, sorry, buddy.
Right on.
I know him as Mr. Thank You Please too.
Yeah.
Well, he's one of the.
I watch every one of his videos.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
like,
one of the
crack up.
good, funny surf comedians out there, but also rips.
Yeah.
So in that note, I'm just including Sterling Spencer as my number
yeah.
3.
Sweet.
Same thing.
That's-
Funny guy.
Is that
rips.
Raglan?
No.
Or no?
No. I'm not including Raglan because all he does is make fun of people, and
Yeah, fuck that guy.
me. He's just he rips, but he's just all his skits are just making fun of people and negative energy, which I don't like.
I haven't cut on that. I think his shit's funny.
Bro, all him and Jonathan Wayne Freeman, all they do is make fun of other people.
Salty Beards.
Dude, bro,
doing
Salty
his
Beards,
LA they're hilarious.
The
Very
Nick
funny.
Rosa.
Yeah.
Salty Beards. Let me tell you about Salty Beards and caring about your customers. Back in the day, before I ever started this company, I wanted a shirt or a hat from them, and that said sold out, and I emailed them, it's going to be restocked or whatever. Ghosted, just like all these other companies that don't care about their customers, and so F Salty Beards.
I grew up surfing with Nick.
I mean, he's a great server, but not a great businessman.
I wonder when it was. I wonder if it was around the time when he had his kid and was going through some.
It was a long time ago. I mean, it must have been 10 years ago at least, since I started this company 10 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I don't know, it's just the same thing with any company you email. People don't reply to you, and it sucks. There's this same thing with this BMX company. I really wanted this shirt. I was like, yo, can you guys make another shirt? This is a funny print, and they just ignored me. We will never ignore you. If you email us, you DM us, we're not ignoring you, all right?
Yeah, you're literally gonna be talking to one of these guys
Yeah.
if you do it.
Yeah.
Sterling Spencer is definitely on my list. I wish I would have worn his podcast shirt today. I blew it.
What's his podcast shirt?
Pinch My Salt shirt.
Is it?
I got one for Christmas, and I was all psyched to wear it on this
Nice.
podcast when we talked about it, and I totally forgot it today. But yeah, I'm
next
a
time.
huge Pinch My Salt fan. Love all his old videos, and he'd do his alter ego surfing Mexico with Chancho. And
Dude, that first one. That's what back when before, I don't even know if YouTube existed or whatever, but Dane and Sterling were doing their own website remember that Matt guy from Australia that was with Fisher before Fisher was a DJ, Matt Wilkinson, and they would just go, they would make these vlogs on Vimeo and stuff and put it out there, and that's when Sterling had a video on Vimeo.
Yeah.
Of it was an hour long of just the funniest shit.
Yeah, he's so funny. Really cool dude. Went through some really gnarly brain injury and had to get
completely
nursed back to health, and
Yeah.
now he's
Still, I feel like
now
he's
he's
still not
surfing
back
again.
to health, but
I was watching some interview where I think it was on the show, but he had done his first air since his injury, and I literally teared up hearing that. I was like, oh man, This guy went through like not even being able to walk, like having to be in like a wheelchair, just like
Yeah.
And he went
But
through
his funniness
everything and is
remains.
still hilarious.
Yeah.
Like still the funniest guy, #1 surfer in the world. You gotta shout him out for that.
I love the one that they just did with Kelly with the Mid-Journey stuff. Yeah, he's good.
Sweet. All right.
Who's your next
I would say my next one is like this guy lives rent free in my mind for the rest of my life. Don't know his name, never will, doesn't matter. Swimming in Bali at Uluwatu, Steve and I in the ocean.
Oh, I know this guy.
He knows this guy.
Oh boy, do I know
Frolicking.
this guy?
Like, let me paint a picture for you. Me and Steve, beautiful, beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky.
Best
me and him,
day.
water 80 degrees. Me and him, we're basically cuddling in the water. And here comes this guy.
So we're like floating in the cave area.
Yeah.
Where people are paddling out.
This is at Uluwatu. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is the Uluwatu. So, there's, like, a little cave area. It's, like, mid-tide, so there's water there. And this dude comes, this local Indonesian guy comes paddling past us with a lit cigarette in his mouth, paddling to go surf. And I thought it was the funniest. I still, to this day, it's one of those things you kind of had to be there, but it was the funniest thing to witness.
He said something to us. I don't even remember, but
Yeah.
he knew he was
Oh.
being cool.
Yeah, it's like he was cool and he knew it. And it's like fucking cool. I
Yeah.
wouldn't think to do that. Like rip a cig on your paddle out.
Yeah.
That's the next level of not caring.
And
And, he probably
nobody was like
rips.
filming it or anything. He was just doing it to
Yeah.
do it.
Like that's that. We want to talk about big dick energy, like coming out of every pore in his body.
You gotta smoke when you're in Bali.
Yeah, so I would say
It's a rule.
he's whoever this mythical creature is. He's up there on the list. Actual people
find
that
him someday.
everybody knows. I like Shane Dorian just because his lifestyle and his kid's awesome.
That checks out.
And yeah, they do a bunch of cool stuff. He's a big hunter too. I'm into that stuff, so I like it.
Dude, you know who else's kid is awesome that I just discovered like 2 nights ago?
Hmm.
Do you got to guess? I think he's Australian.
Josh Kerr's daughter?
No,
Kids?
it's a boy.
Okay.
But gosh, I don't know, but he has like almost 300,000 followers on Instagram. I just found him last night, and he's like a cute kid. So like obviously everyone wants to watch like cute or attractive people. But he's like a nice kid too. He's like, there's like the good looking people that are just like annoying and like
How old is this kid we're talking about?
he's young, but he's like a really just a genuine like nice kid. And so the dad like goes and he rips, but like so he's in like all these like Tommy Hilfiger like modeling things.
Is it Yaden Nichols' kid?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yaden Nichols'
yeah,
kid.
Yeah.
And
Yaden
he's
lives
just
up in
like,
Santa Barbara,
so he's
too.
like, he'll be like ripping, and then they'll do a reel where he's like doing this photo shoot, and he's like just saying like the funniest stuff, and he's just, you can tell he's just a good, nice kid. But speaking of surfers' kids, but my 4th and 5th, since we got 10 minutes left, I didn't really, have anyone top of mind, so I'm gonna go with Justin and Shane.
Oh,
Number
let's
4 and
go.
5 because I love these guys.
Wow,
Yeah.
I'm a little choked up.
Okay, I was looking through some old clips from the sandbar in Mission Beach, and I could hear like it was like one of the raw footage things, and you're like, oh my god, like look at like you were just getting so psyched on one of my waves, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh Steve, like I think you were
Exactly.
talking to Brandy or something. It sounded like I'm pretty sure it's Brandy because she was also surfing out there every time.
Yeah, Brandy loves you too.
Yeah.
But yeah, wish I could surf like you. It all starts with watching a clip.
Yeah, I watch a clip of Shane before I
No,
paddle out.
watch a
now
clip
on.
of Mason Ho before you surf.
Oh yeah, so I definitely would have
Or
picked
watch
Mason.
me.
Now that you remind me of that, love Mason.
All his videos, and then he just like goes over like the ding report and like breaks down his boards and stuff, or like I don't know, he's just like
I don't even know if I should follow him on Instagram. I've watched all his YouTube videos, and he's just surfing over rocks all the time and being funny again.
So we mentioned Josh Kerr earlier. Josh Kerr's always been one of my favorite surfers. Does huge airs, charges huge slabby waves. Like the guy can do it all. Super nice guy. Back in the day, St. Archer did they would have a bunch of pro surfers and skaters and snowboarders come to their brewery and like just pour people pints.
Oh, sick.
And it was like the coolest thing ever. And one time Josh Kerr came there along with Paul Rodriguez, who's like a really famous skater, and like everybody was there for P-Rod pretty much, it felt like. And me and my buddy were just like so psyched on Josh Kerr. We were like talking to him. I think the Trestles or Huntington contest was coming up, and he's like, "Oh, are you guys like excited for it?" Like we started talking about the fantasy surf team, and me and my buddy were like, "Dude, you're on our team." And he's like, "Wait, really?" And we're like, "Yeah, man, like fucking always. Like you're like one of my go-to guys for the fantasy surfer team."
Yeah,
like,
he was like the
so
big,
nice.
Yeah, he was like the big air guy for a while, right?
Yeah.
What was the company? St. Archer.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Did he start that?
That's a cool.
But they
company.
got like,
I think he was
they
one
got
of
like
the
a bunch of
owners,
like the athletes into it.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Because wasn't Parko on that too, or did he do his own thing?
I don't know if he was involved. I think it was. I'd have to look.
Also,
it up.
did Josh
I
move
don't
to San
remember.
Clemente? Because he used to be Australian.
No, he lives in Carlsbad. He lives even
okay.
closer. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't actually like run into him out in the water down here, but I've seen him in a few like events and just a few things around town. Every time he like remembers me, he's super nice. Like just really friendly. Has time for everybody that comes by. Like the dude's just a great dude.
Yeah, you see, you got good people like that. Yeah. Then you got people like Alby, who's a fucking dick to you out in the water and doesn't like people.
Oh, he was nice to me when I met him. I have a funny story about that. So when it was, I think the second time I met Alby, we went to his Delirium film premiere, and I was there with a couple friends, and it was at Mavericks, I think, in Pacific Beach. And so we go to this film premiere, and there's like a baseball game that's delaying it, and like June Shine had rented out the whole back room. It was like this whole big thing for Alby, and my friend's like, "Hey, come with me. I'm gonna ask him a question." And I was like, "All right, I'll go with you." And she walks up and she's like, "So are you here for the baseball game?" And his face just went like, all the blood just left his face. And she's like, "I'm just fucking with you. Like, we're here for your movie. We're so excited to see it." But it like just
that's classic.
Completely like wrecked him for
Took the wind out of his sails. That's good.
he's like, "Oh my God, that's like, I've been so nervous that somebody's like gonna ask me something like that."
That's so funny.
Yeah, he was a good sport about it. I mean,
that's nice.
He might not be super friendly in the water. I can see that. But like a lot of people, like we've talked about this in the past, a lot of really good surfers are just not friendly in the water because they just want to get the best waves and they don't.
Bro, Mission Beach when you're out there with 3 people and you're gonna ignore me when I say hi and smile at you, you're a dick. This will be a good clip for or at least the put that in the title or description. Get a little drama going on. Alby Layer Beach.
You know who you two are. The only 2 people surfing Mission Beach.
We got 4 minutes and I'm done with mine.
I'll call it done.
I love
Let's end on some love instead of some hate. I was gonna say gravy too.
Ben Gravy is like he's just so stoked even if the waves are terrible. He he'll find some just terrible shore break and just be like so psyched to get out there. And I got into being a bit of a wave snob for a bit, and after like watching his videos I was like, you know what, like I should just go have fun on, even if it's like funky or bad or whatever. Like, so thank you Ben Gravy for stoking me out on bad waves.
Yeah, agreed with that one. Yeah, I was gonna let me throw another beef in here since nobody's gonna watch.
Let's end on some positive. All right, let me talk some shit.
Because I was thinking like so you got like Jamie and Ben are the biggest like surf vloggers, but Jamie I can tell is super fake, and I've even talked to other people that I've met him in real life, and I tried to meet him when I was in Hawaii. And offered to like film him for free and do all this stuff, and he just ignored me, which is fine. But then like I can just tell like in his videos he's being super fake about everything, and he's just like being nice to people, whereas like if you actually met him in real life, I'm like, I bet this guy's not that nice. Whereas Ben, like I think is probably a nice guy. But I've talked to like a couple other people that met Jamie in real life, and they're like, yeah, like he just puts it on for the camera.
He was so nice to me when I met him.
Was he?
Yeah, I met him back in the day when I rode for Rusty, and he was like super fucking friendly. I'm surprised I'm actually surprised that you have that experience with him.
I've heard the opposite.
You know how people have gaydar? I have like fake dar, and I can tell when people are being fake. He's being so fake in his videos, and I don't know. Maybe he's nice to you guys in real life, but I talked to a couple of people where it was like, yeah, it's just for the camera. But
I mean, I think a lot of vloggers hype up their
Yeah.
like they all exaggerate their experience with things for showmanship or whatever. Like
Yeah.
it's all a bit of acting, I think. I mean, I
well, I think
maybe even
Ben
Gravy
Gravy is
hypes
the
it up, but
is
he
a
might just
real
be
one
like that.
and a nice guy. So props to Ben.
Sweet. I concur.
All right. Well, I guess that's the pod.